Day 4. The next morning I dress in my own clothes and strap my sword at my side. Tobias has prepared food for me in the kitchen. As always, he places the plates on the table as I enter and then leave the room without a word. The usual steaming cup of tea is there as well. This time, I remember to drink all of it as instructed by Erin. Then I head out again, still helped along by the crutch. But instead of going straight to the village, I go back in with Trace towards a small lake that I had found close by. The forest is peaceful and silent. I sit down with my back towards a large tree, facing the lake before closing my eyes. The sword is placed on the ground in front of me, still in its sheath. And then, with a deep breath, I begin my meditation. It has been days since I last did this. I can feel how my entire body has already fallen drastically out of shape. But it doesn't take much before I fall back into my old, familiar rhythm. I can almost instantly feel the energies flowing around me in the forest, the slow movement of the water in the lake. This place is different. It's hard to say, but it almost feels more alive. I find myself mumbling this out loud, but it really is surprising how the natural energies here feel more tangible, more dynamic. This is a place of great spiritual power. Do the villagers know this, I wonder? Normally, the average human being wouldn't be able to sense things, so probably not. Then I suddenly feel a change in the air around me, and the presence moving up close behind me. Without a moment's hesitation, my hand grabs the handle of my sword and draws it in a wide arc. Why, I'll push myself up and turn around. The edge of the sword stops me there, right before striking the neck of a person that I have never seen before. But the stranger doesn't move a muscle. I feel myself involuntarily freeze for just a moment as my eyes meet his this close. Those eyes. There's something unsettling about the way they stare directly back into mine. I quickly bite my lip and regain my senses. All this happens in the course of just a few seconds. Move and you're dead. So you noticed. The sound of his voice almost succeeds in making me falter yet again. Calm and cold, I narrow my eyes. Who are you? What are you trying to do sneaking out me like this? The stranger draws back slightly from my sword, while still keeping his eyes on me. He doesn't seem the least bit intimidated, as if what I do with my sword doesn't really matter to him. I'm surprised. You're still here. What? I had not expected to see you here, so I watched trying to figure you out. Wait, what? What do you mean still here? I was sure you would have been dead by now, so when I saw you here, I was truly surprised. Huh? And today you came back again. I didn't believe my own ears as I stared back at this stranger. This person has been following me? Why do you think I would be dead? The dragon, of course. What else? You saw it happen? My eyes widen in surprise. I've never ever heard Tobias mention anything about the attack, other than him finding me lying unconscious on the ground. I almost forget to keep my guard up. Yes. Then the others. What happened to the rest? I grab the hand of my sword even tighter, and the tone of my voice unfortunately rises up. I feel my heart beating faster. The rest? He turns his head slowly and looks away as if thinking deeply about his question. I'm not sure. I was convinced that not humans survived, so I simply left. But since you are here, it seems that I was wrong. I'm impressed. So he didn't see anything after all. I feel my heart sink once more. I take a step back, but am still holding up my sword in order to keep the stranger away. Are you from the village too? No, I'm not. No? Then where are you from? Now what? Is he another hermit like Tobias? It's beginning to feel like this area is actually crowding with people. Or could he be another one from the outside, like me? The man makes a vague gesture with his one hand, as if including the entire area around us. Here. Do you have a house up here, outside the village? No, the village, the forest, the mountain. This is where I live. Huh? So he's saying he lives in the village after all. What do you... There is a strong wind carrying leaves through the air between him and me with a soft, rustling sound. The stranger turns his head and narrows his eyes. Watch out. I swing around at the sound of his voice and only barely see the shadow shooting towards me at high speed from the bushes. Using the power of my own movement, I swing my sword upwards to guard against it, but instantly feel a sharp pain shooting through my side as I do. I break down and miss my guard, resulting in the attacking creature crushing hard against my hand and the sword's hands. I fall down on my knee, still grasping the sword tightly, even though it was almost knocked out of my hand. The attacking creature falls back from the impact, and I catch a glimpse of it as I look up. My wound is still pounding after my rush of stunned earlier, but I can't let my guard down. I'm about to try and get back up when the stranger from before suddenly glides in before me and confronts the monster. He doesn't seem armed though. What are you doing? Without paying me any mind, he lifts one hand up in front of him as if preparing to do something, and just stares down at the hissing creature. The monster makes a threatening lunge forward as he wants to strike, but the man doesn't move out of place before the hesitating foe. With another defiant hiss, the creature turns around and disappears in the forest. I stare in wonder at the scene in front of me. Using the sword as support, I get back on my feet. The crouch is lying on the ground, just out of reach. You should be careful in this area. That much should be obvious to you. The man turns around and looks at me again. I had it under control. If you have a problem, then don't interfere. He casts a glance towards the trees that the creature had fled into. That one seems to hold a grudge. I wonder why. A grudge? It was a mother. Could it possibly have something to do with the small predator that I sent flying with my crutch earlier? No, of course not. I mumbled this to myself. He looks up again as if noticing something new. I look around, trying to figure out what he spotted. Then suddenly he turns around, heads towards the trees himself. Hey, wait! But he doesn't stop. He disappears out of sight almost as quick as he came. What was that about? Lena? I turn around and see a familiar face step into view. Tobias is holding his bow. He's probably in the middle of hunting. What are you doing? He walks over to pick up my crutch without waiting for an answer, then reaches it to me. I feel my anger level rising by the fact that I couldn't get time to pick it up myself before he appeared. What does it matter to you what I'm doing? You're still hurt. Shouldn't be up here. There are monsters, you know. Yeah, I know. I can take care of myself. Oh. I simply take one more look around after traces of the stranger that I met, but he doesn't seem to be anywhere around anymore. I don't feel any traces of his presence either. Forget it. I'm done here. I'm heading down to the village. Do what you want. I still have things to do. Without wasting any more time on talking to Tobias, I lean up against the crutch and begin my trek down the hillside. Why such a harsh relation? The village is as peaceful as it was then, when I last left it behind. People are taking care of daily chores in the main street, while others are working on finishing the roof of one of the newest buildings. Somehow this place stands in complete contrast with the silent forest, where I had the strange encounter with the man from before. I stop and press my hand against my right side. The pain is still here, stronger than it was this morning when I left the cottage. I can feel the bandages underneath the shield, and feel a little worried that I might have caused some unnecessary damage during the fight. I should have been more careful. I need to get stronger. I have to get my strength back. Hey. Caught up in my own thoughts, I jump a little at the sound of Gavin's voice calling out to me. So you came back. You still don't look too well, though. I straighten up. It's nothing. Gavin looks down and eyes the sword at my side. An unreadable look is on his face for just a short moment. Then he smiles again. Oh, that's quite a large knife for a pretty one to be carrying around. You think so? You're so friendly today. Sorry, I just have it on my mind. Well, I can imagine that. I sigh and take a look around. It almost feels like time stands still here, as if this little town is cut off from the rest of the world. This kind of peaceful atmosphere doesn't sit well with me, though. I feel restless just staying here like this, with no apparent goal or schedule ahead of me. I'm a person who likes to take action, one could say. You look preoccupied, so I'm just going to leave you to it. If you need anything here, don't hesitate to call. So where to go? Whoa! Whoa, 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 what is this? Choices, forest. I think going to forest is not a good idea yet. Let's go to the outskirts. Oh, it's you. What brings you here? I could ask the same of you. Well, to be honest, I'm trying to avoid work. They were looking for extra people to help them lift the load for the roof over the new building at the other end of town. I'm not even sure what the building is to be used for yet. I don't like you already for that. I see. Hey, don't give me that look. It's not like I plan to do nothing. I look down and found the sight of a sword by his side. I start to notice that this isn't a plain old sword. It's held in a black sheath, with simple but eye-catching decoration in silver and gold. It's nothing like what Tobias carries around with him. Gavin noticed my stare. Are you surprised? He smirks. No, I don't know what to answer to the question. To be honest, I haven't given much thought to what kind of person Gavin really was. Actually, I was planning to try, and it's been a while since I last had to use my sword, but seeing you must have inspired me in a way. Maybe you want to join? Join you? Yeah, the more the merrier. I must admit that I'm also very interested in seeing what you can really do with that sword of yours. Yeah, she's injured, and... Okay, let's join. Sure, I don't mind. I need to train myself after all. Going with someone else might help give an extra boost of motivation. Still nagging feeling about Gavin's return. It's probably better to keep my cards close. Great, let's go out of town. We'll just do some ordinary training session for now since I'm not out of shape, but who knows, I might join the patrols one day. Patrols? You mean the ones Tobias do? Yeah, I've been thinking that he shouldn't be allowed to have all the fun on his own. Well, shall we go? Oh, no. Whatever, let's save. Yes. Cottage Inn. Let's go here. I'm surprised, though. I always imagined knights wearing armor, but you don't seem to have any. Why is that? Erin has been asking a lot of questions like this one, seemingly fascinated by the fact that I'm a Templar. It's not that surprising really, as most people live through their whole lives without ever seeing a Templar, much less speak of one. I still feel kind of awkward about the attention, though. That kind of admiration would have fit someone like Simon much better, as he's much more of a real Templar than I am. We do have armor, but we only wear it when deemed necessary. It's a long trek through the mountains and well, it didn't seem practical at the time. No unexpected dragon to come dropping from the sky. I like this better anyway, it's easier to move in uniform. Fighting in armor is something else. Still, it's a bit of a shame. I'd love to see what it looks like. What is your full name, really? I don't get to open my mouth before she shoots out another question. Mine. It's Lena Ehrenfeld. What? Sounds so impressive. Although I guess that's to be expected. All your Templars are lovely, high-standing families, right? It's usually like that, but I'm a special case. I'm actually an orphan. An orphan? Yeah, a soldier found me in the woods and brought me back. All the knights that decided to keep me on the guards and later raised me as a soldier. Then, where does your name come from? Was it the soldier's name? No, I don't know the soldier who found me. It's not my caretaker's name either. My name actually came from the name of the forest where I was found. It was called Ehrenfeld's Wood among locals. The forest had a name like that? Well, there's a story behind why the forest is called that. Tell me, I'd love to hear it! Well, apparently, there's a local tale in the town, near the forest about a noble knight called Ehrenfeld, who once fought in a war for his lord. One day he went into the forest alone and met a dryad, the spirit of the forest which he fell in love with. The dryad was crying. When he asked why, she explained that she couldn't take all the blood that was being shed in the forest and that it was making her sick. Very soon she and her forest would die, she said. Hearing that, the knight Ehrenfeld returned to his lord outside the forest. He knew that the Lord was planning to enter the forest and ambush a band of enemy soldiers. When the Lord and his soldiers tried to enter, the knight turned on his own to stop them from spilling more blood in the Dryad's forest. He fell in the ensuing battle, taking all of his opponents with him, and then his spirit returned to his beloved Dryad. It is said that the forest grew even more lush and green after that, and that's why it was named after him. That's quite a story. How sad for him. Although I really like the thought of you being named after him. You've got quite something to live up to. Really? I'm not one of fire tales, to be honest, but I guess they just needed to call me something. Besides, he turned against his own people just like that. That doesn't sound very noble or impressive to me. Whatever you say, I still find it very romantic.